Hey guys, so we've got Navia, we've got patch 4.3, new banners, new weapons and new exciting content coming up in Genshin in just a few days. So I'm going to be reviewing the banners, telling you guys my opinion on the banners and if you should pull or should you save your primos, how much should you pull and should you pull on the weapons. I'll be answering all these questions in this video, so let's get started. Well, of course, first of all, we have Navia, a new character joining us. We've seen her in the story before. I think a lot of people like her. I like her character, her personality. The style's obviously amazing. She will be a Claymore Geo user. So we've not had a Geo character in a while. If you guys are missing Geo, this might be a good pickup. She's a DPS character. And if you were thinking of getting a Geo DPS, this might be it. You know, put aside your Ito, put aside your Ningguang. This is the new Geo character, and I think she's going to be amazing. Looking at some leaks, looking at some stuff, her DPS is going to be decent. Not top tier, but she's not going to be, you know, she's not going to be doing low DPS, guys. Not like Ningguang. She looks amazing. She's a new character. I'm very excited personally, and myself, I will be pulling on her. That is without a doubt. But we also have Ayaka here. So Ayaka's an older character now, but do not let that deceive you guys. She's still an amazing cryo DPS. Now, if you have pulled for Risley recently, well, maybe you don't need Ayaka, okay? If you're enjoying your Risley, if you're Shenhei, maybe you're still playing with your Ganyu. You know, if you're playing Ganyu, you don't really need Ayaka, right? She is fun though. She does high cryo DPS. The old debate of Ganyu versus Ayaka, they're both pretty good. Starting to slowly fall off, you know, with the Dendro meta that we had in Sumeru, they weren't as useful. But I think Cryo in Fontaine has a place, and Ayaka could be run on some of the teams. Her teams are more expensive though, full of 5-star characters, so maybe if you're a newer player you don't really need Ayaka. But she's still a very good cryo DPS if that's what you're lacking and if that's what you want. Now, just briefly mentioning the 4 stars, they're okay. So it depends on where you are in Genshin. If you're a new player, characters like Sucrose, Rosaria even, they're pretty good. They're pretty good to get. You know, Sucrose, I think out of these 3, Sucrose is the most powerful one. She's an Animo Catalyst user, right? And she does some sub DPS. I think the way I built her was for Elemental Mastery, but she's pretty good. The problem is she's kind of overshadowed if you have Kazuha, if you have even Wanderer, if you're using Wanderer, right? Sucrose used to be good. She's kind of been falling off, especially with Dendro. She doesn't react with Dendro. She's okay. If you still need her at C6, yeah, a few constellations would be nice to at least get her C6. She has her uses and certain teams can still run her, so she's not too bad. Not too bad at all. However, Rosaria is a little bit worse. She has less teams. She's a little bit more niche. Even with Cryo, there are other characters that support your Cryo DPS, such as Shenhei. Physical damage is not really a thing. If you're running Eula, all power to you, but it's not really a thing. And Rosaria, she kind of has her place, but not many people run her, not many teams need her. Of course, if you like Rosaria, here she is, get some constellations, have fun, but I personally don't really rate her that highly. Candace is the last one, so you know, one of the newer 4 stars, although I think now she's about 1 year old. So a polearm Hydro sub DPS, I want to say, but more of a support, really, more of a Hydro support. She's got a fun thing where she infuses your weapons with Hydro. However, when she came out, she wasn't very useful, and she doesn't really fit into many teams. Where you could run Candace, right? Why not just run a different character that's more useful? Especially that, you know, the more time progresses in Genshin, the more 5-star characters we have and people have, and it's just less of an option to add a character like Candace, where she's a 4-star, so less stats, less damage, less kind of stats overall, so less HP, and she's not as useful as some other characters would be. If you really want to play around with the Hydro infusion, well, she's the only one that can do it. I'm pretty sure. So Yeah, but other than that, she doesn't really fit on many meta teams right now. Not really that popular. But if you need Candice, even just to get her for collection, well, here she is. So overall, the 4 stars are okay. They could have been better. Sucrose is probably the best one out here. Rosaria, Candice, kind of okay. Yeah, not something to be super excited about. I'm gonna quickly go over the weapon banner. So we have the new weapon, the Verdict. So it's a claymore. I mean, it's an axe, right? It looks super cool, but it's a claymore, a crit rate weapon for Navia. It's her signature weapon. And of course the Mist Splitter Reforged, which is Ayaka's signature weapon. It's a crit damage sword, one of the best weapons, best swords in the game. You cannot be sad or disappointed if you get this weapon. It's very good. The axe is also pretty good, especially on Navia, of course. So the 5-star weapons here are pretty good indeed. However, there is a catch, and there's always a catch with the weapon banner. First of all, it's weapons, right? They're not as exciting as getting a new character. And the thing is, if the 5-star weapons are good, they typically throw in some crappy 4-star weapons. And here we have an example of this, where these 4-star weapons are not the best, right? And they have been kind of outdated. Nothing to really be too excited about. I mean, the Favonius Codex, Energy Recharge, Catalyst, it's still okay on certain characters. Sure, you can make it work. And if you're running characters that need Energy Recharge, especially, obviously, the Catalyst users, yeah, it's fine. It's just, the weapon like this has been in many banners, and people already have it R5. So it's like, it's just coming back again for no reason, really. Same with the Dragon's Bane. If you just got Hu Tao recently, well, Dragon's Bane R5 is decent on Hu Tao, sure, but you know, a lot of people have now gotten a Staff of Homer and other weapons, so yeah, it's okay. It's an Elemental Mastery polearm, right? So you can kind of fit it around even Sino, Yao, stuff like that, although it's very much not optimal, but it kind of works. The flute is just shit. I'm sorry to say, it doesn't really have a place. What are you gonna do with this flute? Nothing. So that's not really, that's a bit of an L. The Moon's Moon, so that's decently okay, I want to say. I've seen a build where someone was using it on a Ganyu for a lot of burst damage, but that's a very kind of copium build, and you know, will you put this on your Sarah or Goro? Probably not. It's not that useful, guys. Moon's Moon, not the best, not the best. Another Akumaru. No one really uses this Claymore, guys. It's not very good. So yeah, the 4-star weapons, just kind of a skip. What you want is the 5 stars here, and this is the real prize. Both of these are very good. So overall, if you get Navia or Ayaka, and you still have a lot of primos to spare, maybe consider these weapons if you maybe are nearer to pity on the weapon banner. I wouldn't want to go a full rotation or two just because these 4 stars aren't very good, but you might get the sword or the axe here, claymore, sorry. Very good, very good, and they can work on other characters. So this axe will work on a lot of other claymore characters. This sword can obviously work on a lot of other sword characters. So very versatile weapons, powerful weapons, very much recommended. So overall, guys, should you pull on this banner? Well, you have one other thing to consider, because Navia is powerful, yes. If you need Geo DPS, well, pull away. If you need those 4 stars, of course you should pull. If you want Ayaka, go for it. If you need Cryo DPS, go for it. However, something that they always do is drip marketing, and we need to consider what's coming up after Navia. Because if you go and spend all your wishes on Navia, Ayaka, and their weapons, and then you see what's coming up, and you're gonna be like, well, I want this now, or you're not gonna have any primos. So let's have a look what's coming up after Navia in patch 4.4 and see if maybe that's more worth saving for. Maybe that's gonna be more exciting. So this is Shan Yun, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. An Anemo 5-star character coming up in the next patch after Navia. And obviously, if you know who this is, you know. I'm not gonna say it here, but I think she's supposed to be a kind of a healer, maybe sub DPS, maybe support character. So Animo as well. That's coming up next after Navia. Now this could be good or could not be. We don't quite know yet. My kind of prediction is that she will be very powerful, and she'll be more powerful than anyone thinks. That's my prediction, but we'll see what happens. So she's coming up, and there's another character coming up as well. We have gaming. I don't think it's gaming. I have a feeling it's gaming. But anyway, Pyro 4-star character. Not really sure what this is. He could be a sword or a polearm, I'm thinking. Probably some sort of support as well. So yeah, another new character, 4-star. Will probably be on one of the banners. So here's something to consider if you want to save up some primos, if you don't want to spend everything on Navia or Ayaka. But yeah guys, that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you for watching. Hopefully I've kind of helped you decide what to do here, who to pull on. The weapon banner is a bit of a trap, I'm not gonna lie. The 4-star characters are also a bit of a trap, but Navia looks really cool. I'm gonna be pulling her on her. I'm gonna be releasing my video as soon as she's out. So hopefully you guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.